Alright guys, welcome back. So it's a miserable rainy day in England today, or certainly the part of England I'm in anyway. So can't go out, so I thought I might as well do a video. And I've been doing this a fair bit now in the background. And when I say a fair bit, I'm talking maybe 10 runs. So not mass amounts. But still, still enough to know that it's very reliable, it's very comfortable if you follow a few little tips that I'm going to give you, which that's going to be around what spec to be. Well, certainly just a certain few talents. You don't need to go the exact same spec as me. I basically wanted to be able to continue out farming in the open world and grinding my way to 70, but also be able to do stealth runs, and that's what this video is about. So I made a video, which I'll put a card up the top now. This was done during the beta, and this was showing you on a 70 rogue and a 70 druid you can do this stealth farm. It's primarily for mines, but you will see chests. There's a couple of the chests that you can actually get to as well. There's some ancient lichen, lichen, whatever you want to call it. You can get some of that stuff as well, and you can pickpocket everything as long as you've got vanish ready. So that's sort of the rule I stick to. So I'm doing this at 63. It doesn't take long to get a rogue from 60 to 63. You could probably do that sort of in one fairly long sitting, and then you're ready to stealth farm. You can just go in and get your 10 mines an hour and then log it off. It'll take you probably realistically 16, 17 minutes, I would say, if you're not pickpocketing everything. If you're pickpocketing everything, then it takes a little bit longer, but you've got more added benefits there, because you're going to get potions, you're going to get chests, you're going to get just raw silver, raw gold. Obviously it's worthwhile pickpocketing everything. But let's get into it and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So first, let me just really quickly just talk you through the spec that I use. It's not really that difficult. I mean, you can see that I'm using combat swords. I've got blade flurry, I've got adrenaline rush, and I've got 2 in vitality at the moment. But remember, I am only 63, so I'll fill this out soon enough. Now, this is not really important because you're never going to fight a mob. You're literally never going to be in combat at all, other than when something goes wrong and you need to vanish. So you can go whatever you want here. It really doesn't matter. All I find really important, personally, is Master of Deception, which reduces the chance that enemies are going to detect you, obviously, which is absolutely brilliant. You're going to want Camouflage because it increases your stealth speed, and it reduces your cooldown of stealth, which, again, it's not really neither in or there, because you're going to be out of stealth long enough mining something, but there probably will be, dodgy, tricky situations that you get in where this could be useful. Then you're going to want Dirty Tricks because it increases the range of your sap, so it just makes it easier. You haven't got to get right up close to a mob that you're running towards. You can sap it from further away, obviously. None of these others matter. These are just literally what I'm using purely just for added sort of out in the world farming potential when I'm grinding or whatever. But then you want Preparation. So Preparation is just going to save you a lot of time, because you can now use double sprint. You can get out of trouble if something goes wrong with your vanish, and you can use it again. If you was just running out and you was near the entrance and you needed a double evasion, for example, then you can use that. I mean, there's a lot of reasons you could go deeper into the tree. Mainly not really anything that great of use. I mean, Cheat Death could get you out of trouble, don't get me wrong, and Shadow Step could potentially add a bit more speed to this run, but then if you're going to try and get from 63 to 70, because how I would probably play this is you're going to be using this portion of your talent tree for your stealth runs, and then once you're locked out, you've done your 5 runs, you'll be using this now, you know what I mean, because it's combat where you're getting your combat utility to actually be able to kill stuff reasonably quick, and then you just maybe grind around Terracar or grind some primals or whatever, anything like that, and then once the lockout's up, you'll come back in and you'll do your 5 runs again. Hopefully, I'm going to get an hour, maybe 2, actually doing this live on SJ Gaming Live, my other YouTube channel where I live stream. So check that out, the link's in the description below. I'll also put a card up the top, but make sure you click subscribe and, yeah, never miss me live. But with that aside, make sure you like and subscribe here, obviously. I mean, that goes without saying, don't it? So let me just show you a couple of the runs. Now, one of them, I'm going to show you how I would have been able to get both mines comfortably, but I couldn't because I can't actually mine rich adamantite yet. That's why I want to keep running it, just because you're normally getting 1 normal adamantite at least per run. So I would recommend you having 350 mining so you can get the rich adamantite. But if you haven't, just do what I do, and yeah, it will take a little bit longer because obviously you might only be able to get 1 mine a run. If you're lucky, you'll be able to get both, obviously, because they might just both be normal adamantite. But either way, it's an easy way to level your mining, and that's mainly why I'm doing it. And then to send them the ore over to prospect for chance at gems. I'm not doing anything else with this ore other than prospecting in it. So it's a bit of a gamble, obviously, but you know, it can pay off big if you get lucky and you're getting living rubies. But like I say, let me show you the first run. But look, the main thing here, obviously, it's fairly straightforward how you're going to get past everything. You're going to use distract quite a lot. You know, you're going to sap your way through, so you can just sap a target and run straight through him, which you'll see me do a lot. Now, I only pickpocket when vanish is off cooldown. Preferably, I even like to have preparation off cooldown as well. That's mainly because if your pickpocket fouls, obviously, you're going to get taken out of stealth. He's going to start attacking you, so you want to be able to vanish. But in the next run that I'll show you in a minute, you'll actually see I try to pickpocket, it fails, I vanish, he still carries on hitting me. So it was the only reason I was able to survive was because I had preparation ready so I could vanish again. Now, like you'll see, I don't pickpocket absolutely everything because I am in here mainly for the mines, but you can see how comfortable it is to get around everything and how comfortable it is, you know, to be able to just sap and distract your way through and get to the mines. Let's just fast forward a little bit to where we actually get to some of the tighter packs. So like this one, just distract, sap, run through. Again, if you've got vanish ready, then feel free to pickpocket any of these you want. I mean, I'm probably playing it a little bit riskier if I'm honest with you. I wouldn't normally pickpocket this far forward. But there you go, you see, I've vanished. Now you won't see me pickpocket anything else for the rest of the run because it's just not safe now. You know, if I get one failed pickpocket, I'm dead, I'm done. So now let's just focus on the mines. So if we fast forward through, just obviously take a really wide berth around the back of the second boss, sorry, should I say. And now you'll see this is quite an easy one to actually get through, but I like to have distract ready. So I did sit here and wait for distract to come back, but you could quite comfortably just sap both of these mobs as you run through them, then sap these next pack of 2 and then run through. Now on the right hand side where the miners spawn this time, you know, again, it's quite comfortable. You just go around there, just make sure you're line of sight in the mobs, so don't be scared. You're not going to pull them just because of your level, you know, being quite low. As long as they can't see you, you're absolutely fine. You can mine it. You can see me fiddling around a little bit just to get the right sort of angle to mine it and not be worried, you know, that I'm going to die. Because ultimately, we don't want that, do we? But, you know, mine it a couple of times, get your ore, and then move on. Now, if we fast forward through, so the mine's actually in the last room, which, again, this one's extremely comfortable to get. As the mobs move away, you could distract them to keep them still if you wanted to, but it was only a normal adamantite, so I knew I weren't going to get that much out of it, so it wasn't going to take particularly long to get. Now, this is where you can either basically suicide run is what I would call it. And the reason I say suicide run is because odds are you are going to get a pickpocket resist. You know, I'm not saying it's going to be the first. It might not be till, like, you might get 10 or 11 pickpockets off or something like that before one of them resists. But now you're finished. You've got your 2 mines. So you could just pickpocket, and if you happen to get a resist, you know, pickpocket your way out. If you get a resist, then die, run back in, do the run again. You know, that's personally what I would do. But if you're not bothered about the pickpocket inside, or you just can't be bothered to corpse run, then obviously just log out, reset it with a friend, or just run straight past the first boss like you'll see me do here. You drop down near the first boss again, and obviously you just run out. But even as a level 63, it genuinely is that easy. Like I've only died once where I shouldn't have died, you know, but again, it was completely my own fault. I was pickpocketing with no vanish ready, and I just wouldn't advise that. I would not advise pickpocketing without vanish ready. Now, actual raw gold per hour, I couldn't tell you. It's just pure luck. Let's be fair. You know, you might be going in and getting back-to-back rich adamantite deposits every time. It can happen. You might get corium. You might get, you know, you might pickpocket and be getting super mana potions. There's so many variables to it. But ultimately, as I say, just if you want to just get 10 mines, so just run in, get the 2 mines, run out. There's a couple that if they spawn in dodgy positions, you're not going to be able to get. So in the first room that you saw me get the mine from, where it was sort of in the little alcove, there's one that spawns just on the hill to the left hand side. Now I think at 63 that could be quite tough to get. I've not actually had that one spawn yet for some reason, but there is one that spawns there, and I think at 63 it probably could be quite tough to get. But still, I'm not going to say impossible. With the right distract, the right sap, and then mine, you might be alright. I'm looking forward to actually coming across that one myself to see, yeah, whether I can get it or not. I was going to show you another run, but honestly, that's about all you need to see. You've seen how I've got from start to finish. You've seen what sort of route I take, you know, using sap, using distract practically just constantly as you're running through. You can just stealth through, just get both those mines and get out, or you can get both those mines and do some pickpocketing. I'll be doing this quite a lot, and as I say, SJ Gaming Live, my live streaming YouTube channel, I'll be doing it on there hopefully in the next couple of hours from this first going live. So make sure you subscribe here and there, and I'll see you on the next one.